Is it working? I hope so. Mr. Kent again here with our last video for punctuation marks. If you haven't seen my other first two, we talked about periods, question marks, exclamation points, commas, apostrophes, and now we're going to talk about some that are not usually used in normal writing, but I want you to know them. We're definitely going to talk about quotation marks. And then I'm just going to get you familiar with the names and what they look like of semicolons, colons, dashes, and parentheses. Alright, first let's go to quotation marks. Quotation marks kind of look like apostrophes. They're up high, not lower on the word, and there's two of them put together. We would call the first set starting quotation marks or beginning quotation marks. And as you can see, the curve goes to the inside or toward maybe the middle, what it is going to be in here. And the end quotation marks is the period with the curve going that way. So they point toward each other and they enclose what's in the middle. Quotation marks are used to identify quotes in writing of what someone has said. Okay, so this is really when we're writing. We don't talk like this. We say, she said she didn't do her homework. We just say that. But when you write it, you have to put in quotes what another person said. That's not your own words. Okay, so let's look at one example here. Let's say you were writing an essay about your day, and you said, when I walked in the classroom, my teacher said, get out your homework from last night. Now, I don't have the quotation marks in here, but can you figure out where to use the quotation marks? If you want to hit pause real quick and do that, you can. You should be writing these notes down anyway, but just maybe look here and find out where you would use the quotation marks. Okay, when I walked in the classroom, my teacher said, what did your teacher say? Well, we're going to put our starting quotation marks right there. Get out your homework from last night. And that's the end of the quotation. And that's how we use quotation marks in writing. Okay? Let's go to the other ones. Now these other ones we don't use as much in middle school. You will see them, and it's good to know what they're called. You're going to see a pattern of how they're used. I'm not going to discuss them today, but we'll get some class time and practice time with them. But I just want you to know what they're called. When you see a dot with a comma right below it, we call this a semicolon. A semicolon. When you see two dots together like this, we call that a colon. I'm just taking the S out because that's exactly what that's one called, but we can use colons in a series of writing, but this is called a colon. That's called a semicolon. This is called a dash. Just one little line right there. And we have a parentheses. We have a start parentheses and close parentheses, or some people say open parentheses and close it. It's almost like quotation marks. You'll usually find extra information about what the author or writer wants to tell you, and you'll see that sometimes in parentheses. Alright, so those are the other punctuation marks that I think you need to know at this stage. We'll talk about more of these in depth in the classroom. Alright guys, we'll see you later. Have a wonderful day.